Hello, students. I'm bringing a little lesson here to help you with your comparing and contrasting. Of course, here you see I have shoes. Shoes could be of more than 100 types. And when we're going to purchase a shoe, we need to make a decision. And what goes on in your head is simple comparing and contrasting. So the same principle can be applied to other things that you require to compare and contrast. Here I have two pairs of earrings. We're going to treat them as works of art, artistic creations. I have a mistake here on the slide, but I can't change that now. Artistic creations. And even though they're both earrings, that makes them common, they are different. You have this one here. It's made out of cow's horn. And this one here is made of elephant's tusk. Elephant's tusk is also called ivory. So let's see how we compare and contrast. First, there are special phrases we use for comparing and contrasting. And I have listed them here for you. Both dot dot and dot dot are dot dot. While one is dot dot, and notice the punctuation, the other is that. And I've given you quite a few of the structures you will need, but you could readily call to mind when you were in another English class before coming here. These structures were taught to you. And so go back and see if you find a textbook, or even if you go on the internet, you're going to get some help there. Also, you need to compare poetry techniques that are used in both poems. So remember, look at the poem to see how imagery works and what it delivers in one poem. Compare now what is delivered in the other poem. If there's no imagery in that poem, leave it alone. So let me go a little slower for you. How the poems deal with love. So the image in this one here, it presents da 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 about love. On the other hand, the imagery in this one gives us a different take on love. And so, if you follow me, we'll be going back and forth from one to the other, from one to the other. There is another method of comparing and contrasting where you write all about poem one, two, three, four paragraphs, and then you're going to change and switch and do poem number 2. No, I'm telling you, this is not the superior method. So you should leave that method alone. You're required to do the comparing and contrasting side by side. So here I'm giving you an example of how I've done a critique of the two pairs of earrings. Now I have two earrings, and in the first instance, they are the same functionally. So notice what I have here, a definition or a description of the object that I'm critiquing. They both are worn in the ear for decorative purposes. I've underlined phrases that are giving you added information. Often we try to obtain earrings that enhance the appearance of our faces and our attire. And there I talk about purpose. I'm still critiquing, I'm being critical of it. Earrings are also statement pieces that are attractive. I want to pause here to tell you that criticizing art is like if you're criticizing uh, those fashion designers and those who display the clothing as they walk along the catwalk, you make a value judgment of this one as different from that one. Even though they might be both dresses that are worn, essentially there's something striking and more different that makes one different from the other. So now here I have the comparison contrast. But even though they are similar in that respect, they are also different. One is made of the cow's horn, while the other, notice in bold I have the phrases that are going to transition and take you from one to the next, looking at one, then going to the next. One is made from the cow's horn, while the other is made from elephant's tusk. I have another problem here. It should be an apostrophe. For the poems, you address whether it's a sonnet or if it's another form used in the poem. The creative artist has used objects that are considered as fossils. And I'm talking about my earrings. I go to the raw material now. Has used objects that are considered as fossils to create signature pieces. Signature pieces, it's a value judgment I'm placing on it. And no two persons are going to come up with the same value judgment. Unless you're saying, yes, it's good. It's good. 10 persons, what do you think of it? It's good. But you won't get marks for telling me that it's good. You need to come up and be critical. Create signature pieces that can be worn for adornment. Much creative instinct went into the production of these two pairs of earrings, and we admire and purchase them based on our appreciation of what they represent. The making of both of these earrings involved a process. Again, I've put in bold my comparison and contrast. And the product is very different from what the original materials were. While the artist has used a triangular cotton pattern for the black and gray coworn earrings, so quite a lot, a whole mouthful there. But I'm speaking now about the creative artist and his technique. He has used the triangular cut and pattern. And what emerges? Black and gray coworn earrings. The pattern of ivory earrings is probably more spectacular. Some may describe the pattern of the ivory earrings as abstract. But another person may look at it and see the carved image of a human face. Wearing the ivory earrings, I was once told that the image is frightening. That's quite a viable observation, which tells us that the observer, or it could be the audience, it could be the reader, brings a different interpretation to critiquing the ivory earring. Different interpretations for the same work of art can be both valid as long as they're true to the evidence seen. To determine whether one earring is more beautiful than the other, that depends on personal taste. And here we could get another paragraph going until our essay is complete.